fellow readers. My name is Greg and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky, here with another tag on another Tuesday, another Tag Tuesday. September is known as Shorty September. One of the things that we celebrate is short fiction. I am a huge fan of short fiction. I love the art and the craft of the short story. I love the craft of the novella. And I claim still that the perfect length for a book is 150 to 200 pages for almost any book, almost. So I am going to answer some questions about Shorty September. This is a tag that was put together by the hosts of the event. I was tagged by Gavin at Genre Books, only 5 prompts. Shorty September, so a short tag, short number of prompts. We'll see if I can turn this into a short video or if it expands. So prompt 1 is a shorty that's on your TBR that you're most excited about. I'm picking a work out of, now this book here, this is not a short book, but this is a book of short stories by H.G. Wells or serialized stories. It's all fiction that appeared in the pulps as it appeared in the pulps. And I am going to read The War of the Worlds. Let's see if I can get this. So there we go. So there's the title page from the first segment. I think it's in 3 segments in the pulps. Yeah, it has the illustrations, it has the text, and that's something I am really excited about reading, is War of the Worlds. Prompt number 2. Shorty September always has a number of prompts. They're usually based on clothing that is short. And so this prompt is your favorite Shorty September prompt, current or past, and an idea for a new prompt. So I am going to pick the current prompt, Ripped Shorts, which is a mystery, thriller, or horror. So for this prompt, I'm looking at reading from this collection of works by Dashiell Hammett. This is the Everyman series. There, I almost got the glare off of it. I don't know if you can read it. It has novels. It has The Dane Curse. It has The Glass Key. And it also has some short stories. I believe all of these short stories are all from the Continental Op. This one starts with the house in Turk Street. And so that's where I'll be starting with this work. So as for Shorty September, a mystery crime novel by Dashiell Hammett featuring the Continental Op. In the second part, come up with a new prompt. Find. I'm going to choose boxing trunks. And the prompt would be read a short work about boxing. The boxing story I'm thinking about is by Louis L'Amour. I found it in this collection called Off the Mangrove Coast, which is a collection of adventure stories, classic adventure stories. The very first story in this collection is a story about boxing. It's called Fighters Should Be Hungry. It's about a tramp, a hobo, somebody who rides in on a rail car to a town and gets involved in a fight right away, but he's noticed by people who actually organize real boxing matches in town, and they start training him to be a real boxer. Prompt 3 is your favorite shorty of all time. I've been talking so far about short stories, which I love, but I do love a good novella. This one in the paperback edition that I have is 117 pages, so it definitely qualifies as short fiction. It is by Robert Louis Stevenson, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But this is my favorite novella of all time. Prompt 4 is a book that maybe should have been a shorty. Like I said, I prefer shorter books. And I find that a lot of contemporary fiction is too big, but I get really tired of these side quests. So the book I'm thinking about is one that I read last year, year before. It's by Elif Shafak. It's called There Are Rivers in the Sky. There were really 3 separate timelines in this novel. One in ancient Mesopotamia, one in the early 19th century, and one contemporary thread. And they do get wound together at the end, and I can see why the book was written the way it was. But I really only liked one of the threads. I liked the early 19th century British Museum, that the scholarship that was going on there. Again, well written, just it did not grab me. For me, it was kind of boring about this, but for my money and for this prompt, I think that's a book that could have been a lot shorter. And I think it would have been better. And the final prompt, prompt number 5, recommend a book that captures the vibes of this photo. But when I think about shoes, I pay attention to shoes, especially boots. And there's a story about a cowboy who buys a brand new pair of handmade leather boots. He's in Wyoming in the 1880s, and instead of wearing actual snow boots that the weather called for, he wore his brand new boots, and he goes out and freezes to death and is found by some other cowboys who are admiring the boots. And the story goes on from there. Some of you may recognize this. It's by Annie Proulx. It's called The Blood Bay. I think the collection that was published in is called Close Range Wyoming Stories. I can't find my copy. I had a paperback copy. Hello, Editing Greg here. When I recorded this video a couple of days ago, I could not find my copy of Annie Proulx and the book Close Range Wyoming Stories. As luck would have it, I found at the thrift store yesterday a hardback edition of Annie Proulx. See if I can get the words to show up, but there they are, Close Range Wyoming Stories. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, and this is the book that contains the Blood Bay. And there's the title page. Means nothing, but each one of these stories has an illustration to go along with it. Yeah, there it is, the photo. There's the Blood Bay in the background, the boots in the foreground. So I think Editing Greg is done. Back to your regularly scheduled program. But that's what I think of. I look at shoes, I think of brand new handmade leather boots, and I think about the story of the Blood Bay. And that's the tag for Shorty September, a celebration of short fiction, which I absolutely love. Thanks for watching this. Of course, if you want to do this tag, feel free. I'll be back next Tuesday, next Tag Tuesday, with yet another tag video of some sort or another. Till then, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.